Okay, now we're back in Kalima, or I think that's the name of the town. And now I have to I have new quest, a little bit of a new quest. First, let's just look around. Let's pick that up.
The fallen picket feels reasonably sturdy and is pointed at one end. Believing that you may find a use for it, you retrieve it and carry it with you.
I wonder what the picket is for. Even when I picked up the picket before, I don't know if I ever did something with it. I don't recall. Let's visit Grandma.
Oh, sir, have you seen my little granddaughter? She ventured to the town to buy food for me, but has not yet returned. I fear she may be in peril. The forest is not safe at night.
Okay, looks like I have to find Possum. Feels like it's Red Riding Hood, but maybe it isn't. She should be here, right? Oh, not yet. But I also have to go to the church. But this thing I got right here is going to be very important. So let me go to the swamps really quick. I need to fill that in the poisonous swamp because it's going to be important later on in the game. Oh wait, that's not it. Up here, past Batman, and let's just get that poisonous thingy. Give me that.
Very carefully, you bend down and soak the tip of the needle in the foul, toxic water.
I advise you not to poke yourself with it, because you can and you will die. Okay, now let's go to the church and then find Possum soon. The church is right here.
Finding the door unlocked and unbarred, you enter the church.
There is a Bible here.
You look over the Bible, which appears to be many decades old. You open it and find that an otherwise blank page at the front has been written on. It is dated over 20 years ago.
A path has been found to him. O brothers, let him hear the warning howls. The cloth will be lifted for all the time, and our songs will echo the end of him, his influence, and his family. Our time is at hand. Lone Wolf or Lone Wolf.
You return the Bible to where you found it. You also notice that a page from the Bible has fallen onto the floor. You pick up the fallen page and read it. The words appear to have been written recently. Seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic with someone.
Okay, so this...
You read the Bible. Seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic with someone.
So this is directions when you get to that toxic swamp.
You read the Bible
so
page
every
again.
First letter of the
Seems every
word,
song
right?
ever
so
sung waxes
south,
nostalgic with someone.
East, right, and it's south again.
You read the seems every song ever
South,
sung
east, south,
waxes nostalgic
east,
with someone.
South.
You read the Bible
Sorry, I'm
page
gonna have to
again.
repeat it again.
Seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic with someone.
West, north.
You read the Bible page again. Seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic with
west,
someone.
Northwest, south. I hope I wrote it down right.
You can't. You read the seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic with someone.
West, south. Okay. One more time.
You
Sorry.
read seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic with someone.
Okay. And then let's pray with this guy.
Feeling humbled, you kneel down to pray. You rise again after a few moments. The monk stirs, stands, and turns to face you. It would not be prudent to touch a man of the cloth without his consent.
I wanted to shake his hand.
Father, I go now to a place of darkness. While I am stout of heart, the path laid down before me is unclear. I seek only the knowledge that my passage be illuminated by heavenly favor, and a prayer that I may make it through.
The monk gives you a reassuring smile and pats you on the shoulder. He then lifts a silver cross from around his neck and places it in your hands.
Thank you.
You are welcome, my child.
You can talk?
Of course.
I thought monks were forbidden from speaking.
Not all churches follow the same rules, and this church is quite unique.
Really? How so?
The monk just smiles placidly at you.
Let's talk, monk.
About this crucifix.
I believe you will find the cross to be of immense value. It has come to us at a huge price.
It was expensive?
I mean that it has cost us more than any value to be in possession of it.
One is meant.
If I may ask, why is it that you only open the church at dusk?
We find the late hours more favorable.
Well, surely then you would not have many in your congregation.
Yes, that is true.
One is meant to.
What do you know of the Count?
Only that he is a heathen, a blasphemer. You serve God well by going there, my child. Bless you.
The monk smiles at you, turns back to the altar, kneels, and resumes his prayers.
All right, let's get out of here. Hold on, is it on? Is it
You
on?
place the silver cross and chain around your neck and wear it as a necklace.
Okay, so now I have the cross.
Without warning, a pair of wolves dart out of the dark forest and dash towards you.
For some reason, you think it's for a vampire, but the wolves ran past you.
For a
I
minute
guess
there,
they're
you
also
thought
afraid
those
of the
wolves
ghosts.
were going to
the
attack.
cross.
Curious as to why they didn't, you decide to follow them. You see the monk.
Oh,
You are about to yell a warning to the monk, but the words die in your throat as the man steps forward and pats the wolves' heads.
No, my brothers, we must not hurt him. Not yet. He will go to the heathen's abode. He will do what needs to be done. What if he does not? Then, my brothers, we will complete the task before us, the one we began many years ago.
and it's a werewolf, but it looks like he's a vampire. But it's a werewolf.
You quickly move away from the church, your heart racing faster with every step. You have a good idea now what will happen once the moon comes out in full, and you do not want to be anywhere near here when it does. One thing's for sure, you're not getting married in that church.
I think in the Sierra version, didn't he get married in a church? Anyways, let's look for Possum.
You hear the sound of a child sobbing nearby. As you approach, you recognize the child. It is Possum, the little girl you helped earlier today.
Are you all right? What happened?
I went into town to buy some chicken soup for my grandma. I always try to reach home before dark, but this eve I lost my way and was attacked.
Attacked? A wolf attacked you?
No, not by a wolf, a dwarf.
For a moment, you're not sure that you heard correctly.
A dwarf, did you say?
Uh-huh. He jumped out at me, took my food, and then ran away.
Listen, I'm going to try to find this dwarf that you say stole your food. You get back to your grandma, understand?
Possum nods, says a soft thank you, and heads back home.
It's just strange for a little girl to talk like that. Okay. This time I have to save it in this file, a dwarf home. Earlier I made a mistake, because I was in the home of the enchanter. Oh, no, he's right there. So, in order to get to his home, you knock.
You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response.
No response, so head over here. And just wait. I think he'll... Oh, yeah.
You watch as a little man runs out of the door, which has been built into a tree. You surmise that you have found the culprit's home. The vague aroma of chicken soup confirms it. That fiend.
I believe you can get out of here really fast or hide in the treasure chest trunk.
Finding the door ajar, you cautiously
If you
open
move
it
fast
and
enough, I
step
think you can get out
inside the
before he
tree.
spots you.
It is locked.
There it is.
You grab the handle of the bubbling pot of chicken soup. You take it with you. Upon opening the trunk, you find a number of items that the dwarf has obviously stolen and stashed away. Among them are some gold coins. They display the distinctive face of the first king. They could only have come from the magic chest of Daventry.
Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, hurry.
You hear the latch fall into place again as the door closes behind you.
Now I can show you another example. I guess I'll do it for the hell of it. That if you just take your time, you'll hear the door close. So knock.
You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response.
Right, hide here.
You watch as a little man runs out of the door, which has been built into a tree. You surmise that you have found the culprit's home. The vague aroma of chicken soup confirms it. That fiend.
So let's come in.
Finding the door ajar, you cautiously open it and step inside the tree.
Okay, down the ladder we go.
That's not a knife. The knife you found under a rock one time? Now that was a knife.
Of course,
It is locked.
that is a Crocodile Dundee reference. Call
You
that
grab
knife?
the handle of the bubbling
Yes,
pot
this
of chicken
is a
soup.
knife.
You take it with you. Upon opening the trunk, you find a number of items that the dwarf has obviously stolen and stashed away. Among them are some gold coins. They display the distinctive face of the first king. They could only have come from the magic chest of Daventry. Ouch, this fire is... There's nothing on the shelf except for knickknacks and junk, neither of which you need. You suspect it to be very hot. You open the chest.
Let's wait a little bit. I think he'll come.
You hear the sound of the door creaking, followed by someone descending the ladder in the next... Thinking quickly, you hide in the trunk. The dwarf has entered his underground hovel. Hopefully, he won't discover you in here. You sense that the coast is clear again.
Whew. Wait, let's be nice.
You
Kind of pointless, but I want him to be suspicious, even though the chicken soup is missing.
It looks like the door creaked open again after the dwarf left.
Yep, let's get the hell out of here.
You hear the latch fall into place again as the door closes behind you.
Let's go to Possum now.
Welcome. Come in, please. Possum told me to expect you.
Here, Granny. I think you could use this.
It is a little too cold to be serving.
Oh,
You place the now cold chicken soup over the crackling fire once more. After it heats up to eating temperature, you remove it again. You offer the soup to Possum's grandma, introduce yourself, and wait courteously while the frail elderly lady eats the nourishing meal. When she is finished, she sets the empty bowl down elsewhere and turns her attention towards you. Possum's grandma obviously values that portrait, otherwise it would not be hanging here. It is a portrait of a young man. He looks somewhat familiar. The painting on the wall looks like an artist's depiction of the Kalima landscape. You wonder who painted this. The little girl is fast asleep. A humble fire flickers in the small fireplace.
If you would like to speak with me for a while, I would welcome your company. A person should never turn away a visitor, especially when she reaches the twilight of her life.
You can't help but feel a sense of finality in the old woman's words.
You must have something in return for your kindness. You do not need to risk your safety for an old, worn-out woman like myself. Look under the bed. You should find something to keep you a little warmer on a cold night like this.
You peer under the bed and find a thick black cloak. Lying atop it is a beautiful ruby-encrusted ring. You pick both up with reverence.
I could not possibly take these fine things from you.
Oh, please. I want you to have them. Nights in Kolima are cold, believe me. As for the ring, well, perhaps it is better that I do not have it to remind me.
As you wish.
The little girl is...
okay, let's talk.
You have a charming young granddaughter.
Grandma smiles at you graciously.
She is a treasure to me. I would do anything to ensure that no harm comes to her.
If I may inquire, what became of her parents?
Grandma frowns and her eyes darken for a moment before she forces a melancholy smile to her face.
They were lost to us many years ago. I am afraid dear Possum never really knew her parents.
It must have been a daunting task raising a child by yourself, especially at your
At my age? I am certainly not as young as I used to be, and there is no shame in that. I have tried to raise her as best I could to keep her safe and well. However, I fear that as of late the reverse has become truer.
If you please, I was hoping you might tell me of the cloak and ring's origin.
The old woman closes her eyes as if the memory she seeks is painful to her senses.
They were my husband's. He was a proud man, the last of his line. His family had been rich, a great deal of old money, you might say. They lived in that castle you might have seen to the north. Its location upon that island is evidence of how much they valued their privacy. He was a good man, my husband. He took care of me. Certainly he had his strange habits. Most men do, if you would pardon me for saying so. I suspect that he practiced magic, so I could never catch him in the act. He would frequently journey afar, taking that black cloak with him wherever he went, to places he would not talk about. He said that it represented something important to a certain group of people, and that I was never to mention it to anyone. But he was always there for me, always, until that fateful night. We had been married just over a year, and I was heavy with child. We were both out walking in the weirwood forest late one night. The air was warm, and in our youth we paid little attention to the world and its many dangers. Besides, there was a full moon. We could see clearly enough. A shadow passed over us. We looked up, thinking it might have been a stray cloud. It was not. Descending upon us like a demon was the largest, most hideous bat I had ever seen. Its fangs were bared, and it dove straight for me. I must have screamed. My husband flung himself in front of me to protect me. He swung his arms about frantically in hopes of warding the horrid thing away. Perhaps he was trying to cast a spell, but could not recall how in his panic. It paid him no heed and would not be deterred. It swooped again and again relentlessly. At one point, my husband's hand must have clipped the bat's wing because it lost control and crashed into his shoulder. He tried to wrest the foul creature away, but then he shrieked suddenly. The horrid thing had bitten him. He never did recover from that incident. He just faded with each passing hour. Within 2 days of the attack, my husband had died. We buried him on his family's plantation on the island. Sometimes when I sleep, I can feel him watching over me, guarding me, protecting me. I think he is waiting for my time to come so we can be together always.
The old lady seems to be dozing off. You can barely hear her final words.
I miss him so.
Telling the story has clearly taken a great deal out of her. You watch the old woman a moment and notice her labored breathing as she sleeps. Despite the little girl's tireless daily efforts, perhaps there's nothing more to be done. The elderly lady.
Okay. Meanwhile...
Sister Agatha, my dear, tell me you have good news.
The king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
For now, but that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Kaldor.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Totally. Still sharp, and there's no questioning his loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
Well, let's see.
The ring is gold with an enormous red ruby. The word beloved is engraved inside the gold band. You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring.
I wonder if I should be wearing the beautiful ruby red wing.
With a flourish, you fling the black cloak around your neck and fasten it.
Oh snap, I look so cool. Okay, now, should I go back to the church? Title. Where in the world where do I go? I think it's to the not to church. I can't go back there because I do need a shovel. Isn't there a shovel somewhere? I remember because you need to, even though it's messed up, you got to dig up a grave. Where do I go? Oh. This is gonna get very confusing. So, when I come in, I think it's like this. Right, it's south. And so when I'm going south, would this be west? West. Oh crap! I messed up. Let's go back, let's go back. I totally screwed up. I don't know where I'm going. Uh-oh. Where in the world did I go? Whoops. There, okay. I guess this is south. Is this west? Because now if I go, right, there's north, south. I think, no, east, right? So it would be east. I think that's east. South. East again. South. West. And I think it's north. Ah, crap! I did it wrong. So south. Ah, crap! I messed it up again. Ha! Okay, so it's. I think this is south, east, south, east, south. I'm guessing this is west, and then north. This is west, right? And then I go south. Yes! I am the man!
Boatman, I need passage. I said...
I heard. The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
In life, I would row this boat for the master. Long ago was my untimely death in these waters, but still, I remember many things. Laughter, tears, joy, pain.
May I cross, Sir Boatman?
You have come to raid the Master's house. This I know, but care not about. You should be warned, though. The the Master is not what he once was. Never has this land known a kinder, more compassionate, and nobler ruler than he. But his fate has long since been decided. Down a dark path he now treads, and he feels naught for anyone nor anything save for one other. And even that is a rare trait for a Nosferatu.
You freeze. Neither the Door of Destiny nor Neptune mention this count as being undead, due to the large number of insects swarming about.
If I may ask, Sir Boatman, how did the swamp come to be here? Is it natural?
No, the ground you stand upon was once farming land and dwellings for the peasantry.
How did it come to be like this?
A score of years passed after the Master died, and a great morass opened up, covering the surrounding land with slime and poisoned water. Once rich and fertile, now it is no longer.
The Count has caused this?
It is believed so, for why else would his own castle be spared?
Ah, thank you, Sir Boatman.
Anything else? Okay. I think I know how to get across.
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat. The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side.
Okay, stopping here for a little bit, and I'll continue this on. And here's a hint: when you walk here, be careful. You will, if you touch a little bit of this, you're dead. I will continue this soon.